one of those. Screen works, and the battery's about half drained.
Oh gosh! Who's been on my phone? Oh no.
Yeah, it's about it's like 45-50%. And you just have this big glove with 5 red lights on the back of the arm, glowing red. And you look around you, and the first thing you notice is the smell. It just smells, it's warm and kind of humid. It smells like chlorine.
How warm are we talking?
Like a nice, cozy temperature. Not quite a full summer day, but you look up and there's glass above you.
Oh gosh,
this glass ceiling. And you kind of get up and kind of wobble on your feet, getting off of these pool floaties, and you realize why you're on pool floaties is you're inside an indoor pool. You're at the side of the pool, and the water is just totally still. There's diving boards at the side. You can see like lockers, changing rooms out there. It looks like a single-story pool because there's the light above you, and you see off to the corner. There's like a little lobby thing down in a foyer. There's glass doors, like a revolving glass door, glass above you, and you kind of pause for a second because there's not just the smell. It's dark. It's nighttime outside. You can see the sky, but
can I see inside?
Here's something.
Is this normal vision? Because if it's not, I'm gonna have a fun time because I have a tendency to just walk into everything when I can't see properly.
Well, it's nighttime, but it's not that dark. There's something.
Okay.
You kind of get up, and there's no lights on in the inside of the thing, but there's a light outside. It's not quite like street lights. The pool itself is reflecting the moonlight a bit from outside, but you hear something in the distance. It's like the sound of drums, almost. Drums and occasionally bells and almost the sound of people singing in far away in the distance. And you look up just in time. You see something float outside of the building in the air, just slowly drifting through the air. It's a large lantern, like a paper lantern.
Oh, wow.
Just lit and floating through the air, and you look outside, there's more of them in the sky. It's bright enough, thanks to them, that you can see fairly well. There's starlight, too. But there's this strange orange hue outside. And the glass in the building is kind of that frosted glass you see on windows. You can't really get a clear look through it. You just see shapes and light.
Hmm.
You get to go anywhere?
Yeah, is there any way to leave?
Yep, there's just this revolving door at the bottom of the foyer.
Oh yeah. Can I go out there?
You step out, and you kind of have to squint a little bit. It's brighter outside than it is in the pool. And you're just in a single-story indoor pool building. As soon as you step outside, there's kind of tarmac outside, and then grass. Actually, grass, then tarmac. That's the way it goes. Like, you step out onto a sidewalk, and there's grass around it. There's not like a parking lot or anything, or a city like you'd expect an indoor pool building to be in. Instead, it looks like a gigantic cul-de-sac. And when I say gigantic, I mean that some of the spots where you'd expect a house to be, it's like half a skyscraper, just jutting up out of the ground.
Oh, well, that's peculiar.
And all of the windows are dark. They just have single candles in every one. There's no cars in any of the driveways at all. And the cul-de-sac, the actual curved road, is enormous. It looks like a NASCAR speedway. Just somehow race car track.
Okay, thank you.
It looks like a race car track, and it's huge. Like, there's houses, like little bungalows and stuff like that. And walking in this enormous cul-de-sac is what you can only describe as a parade. There are hundreds of lanterns in the sky, and the parade, there's people on stilts everywhere. There's people on stilts with strange masks. There's huge parade floats. There's hyper-realistic, like abstract geometric parade balloons being dragged through the sky.
Cool.
And there seems to be small roads that jut out in between the houses. And there's trees in the yards every now and again. And every tree is surrounded by this kind of wire. And there's even a few in the yard around the pool building. And they're caged in. And they look like supermarket shelves. Just bent around every tree. And some of them, there are even a few places there's just a supermarket shelf lying on the ground with some boxes around it, just overturned. There's no supermarket that you can see anywhere near you. And all you can see is this huge parade. And you don't even hear like the regular parade sounds. You just hear this distant music, drums and gongs, strange people in costumes going through. There's hundreds of them, just slowly, rhythmically moving around this cul-de-sac. And some of the balloons are bigger than the houses being pulled through the air among this just cloud formation of lanterns.
Can I ask someone what's happening?
Alright, you can head forward towards the parade, and you kind of look at the way they're going. There's cars overturned in the streets. There's some side streets, like almost like alleyways that jut off from the cul-de-sac where there's other parade members. And there's these cars that are overturned and stuff, and these strange lion dancers just jumping on top of the cars and darting in and out of the parade, these intricate costumes of lion dancers. And you kind of go up to someone who's on stilts with these huge, elegant wings around them, just kind of shifting to the sound of the drums and gongs. And they don't notice you at all. They ignore you completely when you approach. Do you want to try to get their attention?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Can I poke the person?
Where? They're on stilts.
Oh, no, can I? Okay, can I, is the person wearing a jacket?
They're wearing this weird outfit with feathers and wings and ribbons trailing from it, and this beautiful ornate mask.
Is there anything I can, like, tug on to get their attention? Like
Tug on the skirt or something.
Alright, let's do that.
You tug on it. They don't seem to notice. They just keep walking.
Oh. Okay, then that's slightly peculiar.
No one notices you. Everyone ignores you. And the colors are so vivid. Like, you've never really seen colors quite this bright in real life. It's almost like their bodies are draped in a neon technicolored glow. Beautiful reds, bright oranges, yellows, and whites. There's no dark colors. Everything is bright and vivid and beautiful. And the sound doesn't seem to come from anywhere, not from the floats, not from anything like that. Minor retcon. When you woke up, when you woke up inside of the pool, you couldn't see it too well, and you left real quick. But over by the let me see where it is, where the diving board platforms are. Behind those, it was kind of dark, but you saw like a ring, just a standing ring. And you left real quick, but you just remember there was this ring standing behind the
what
diving
kind of
boards.
ring? Like, are we talking a ring, like a float, like an inflatable float ring, or?
Do you want to go back in and look at it?
I want to get away from there, to be honest, because it seemed like some apocalyptic wasteland.
We'll assume.
Not wasteland, but it seems apocalyptic.
I mean, it's just a pool. There's nothing weird about it. It just looks like
Not
a
like
dark pool that's
outside.
closed for the night. Do you want to get away from the parade? Do you want to go back inside the pool?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. There's just a ring. Everything's normal. It looks like an indoor pool, and just for some reason behind the diving boards, there's this ring, and it's made of. You kind of go up to it and look at it. It seems like it's made of pool foam and bits of plastic just twisted together into a standing ring that's tall enough that you could walk through it. Just erected at the back of the pool behind the diving boards. And it looks very out of place here. It doesn't look like something you've ever seen in a pool.
Is there any, like... Did I see any signs, like, road signs or anything?
Nope. And if you go around in the pool, with the exception of the door to the outside, none of the locker room doors or the bathroom doors open.
That's peculiar.
There's just the pool area and the foyer. That's all you can access.
Okay, I don't know what to do.
Well, while you're thinking about it...
Can I leave and go in the opposite direction?
No. While you're thinking about that...
Okay.
Tommy.
Hi, I heard my name.
You wake up, you feel movement as you wake. You're just swaying from side to side, slightly.
I'm very dizzy.
Not dizzy. Quite. You sit up and you realize why it's moving. You're on a boat, like a motorboat.
So I'm a motorboat and it's moving. Who's the captain? Well, can I look to see who?
No,
it
it's
is?
not moving. It's not moving like it's moving. It's just rocking side to side. It's perfectly still. It's just rocking on the waves.
All right, I got it.
It's a small motorboat. You kind of look up and it's one of those really fancy looking docks. It's one of those double-storied docks. You can get up to the top. There's some chairs on it, a table. You can sit and watch the sunset.
Very fancy
kind
yacht.
of thing. Okay. Who's scraping around? It's Eloise. Hey, shish.
Mute your mic if you need to.
Tommy.
Yes.
You sit up from the boat. You look behind you. There is a beautiful sunset behind you. It's one of the prettiest sunsets you've ever seen, and it's you're not sure if it's a lake or if it's the ocean, but you just see the horizon of water and the sunset on top of it. And you look to the other side, and there's this dock around you. Beyond the dock, it kind of goes up to this little sandy beach area that's enclosed on either side by these huge hedges. And up on the hedges, there is a garden, an enormous garden, terraced and multi-layered, going every which direction. And behind it, behind arcs of trees, beautifully kept trees, orchard-like trees, and hedges. And you think you see bits of stone and stuff like that, benches, and maybe, what's the word?
Almost looks like it was made by humans.
Oh, well, not only that, behind it, there's a large brick mansion.
Oh, shit.
Just a normal brick mansion. You can see wrought iron fences on either side of the hedges. And the beach seems to stretch into into the distance. You can't really see where it goes, but the dock leads onto the beach, and there's an ornate stone path that leads up into these gardens and this brick mansion behind it.
Very inviting.
Very.
Right,
Too inviting.
So
also,
go ahead.
When you get up, you kind of look around the boat. The boat's engine is gone. The actual thing they stick in the water, gone. The entire contraption is just gone.
Oh, so the anchor is gone too.
Probably.
Alright, so if I'm just going over in my head what just happening, so onto the front side
Also, you
of the
look down
boat.
on your arm, and there's a large metal glove, and on the back of your arm there are 5 light ports glowing red.
Well, I've been tagged. Great! I don't know what the shit where I am, except I'm on a boat, and so one part of the ship I see the sun. I could go in that direction, or I can go towards where land
Into the water?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, how am I gonna get off this boat? I can't technically really, like,
you
use
could just
the boat
walk
to get over
onto
there.
the dock. It's tied up at the dock.
Okay. So it
You
is
can
tied
just walk
up.
off
Good.
of it.
Yeah, okay. That's perfectly fine, as long as I can get onto a dock and get onto land. I mean, it's probably safer to just, like... Okay, hold up. First, before I start doing that, can I have the option to search around the boat?
Sure.
Alright, then. I search
Investigation
around the boat.
check.
Yeah. So is there anything in particular, or...?
Just an investigation check. Or unless you're looking for something in particular. If you're not looking for anything in particular, just a general investigation. And add your investigation.
Is there anything on this boat, kind of like with Topsy when there was a ring involved, is there anything in particular that there's going to be something involved inside the boat that I can, maybe, can I take items from the boat or no?
That's what I'm saying. You have to roll an investigation check to see if you find anything.
Okay, what dice do I roll?
You roll a d20. Who is glad when they get around? Is that Eloise? Or Alex? Who is that?
Love you.
I'm rolling it.
Okay, and add your investigation modifier.
Can you stop zipping?
No.
Okay, I rolled a 4.
Oh, plus what?
Wait, so I rolled
nothing, plus nothing. I looked at your sheet, plus nothing. You just rolled a 4.
Yeah.
You don't find anything.
Ah,
find
shit.
nothing.
Fine. Well, so I searched around.
You do notice that in your pockets you've got a water bottle, you've got a phone. There's a book sitting next to you.
It's what I came with.
The water bottle's in her pocket.
It's attached.
It's
like
my hook.
on your belt.
It's a Middleton like walkable can you can get around with.
Yeah.
All right. Got it.
I'm gonna choke and die on this candy.
Same. Can you guys shut?
Hey.
Thank you.
Eloise, please.
I'm chill.
Okay, so I checked the boat. I did not have my luck on that, so I decided that it's not best to stay onto the boat because there's no shit here. So I just go off of the boat and go towards where
towards the garden?
Towards the beach first.
Towards the beach. Okay. Sending.
Maybe if there's like
here you go.
A roll of vision I can see or like a line of sight.
Tommy.
Alright, I'm seeing it. Okay then. Wow, this is super pretty. I love it.
Yep. The beach is just a beach. The dock goes on to it. There's sand. There's a couple chairs. It's like a towel sitting there. That's it.
So clearly, I mean, in my head, if there's a towel involved, there's probably people here. I could probably, maybe, hopefully see if they're nice enough and maybe ask the hell's going on.
Okay, so you go up into the garden?
Yes, I'll go towards there.
Okay. You're going up on these paths, and the paths twist every which way. It's like a labyrinth of pathways. Beautiful stone pathways. There's flower beds everywhere, very neatly kept. There's archways of trees. There's benches overgrown with vines. There's trellises. There's a couple ponds and fountains, ponds of like goldfish in them and stuff like that. And statuary everywhere. Beautiful, carved, like the kind of crumbling.
Yeah,
like,
from the picture, I could see that.
Yep. And perception check.
Yes, please. I roll the same one to D20, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll let you know when you're not rolling a D20.
So, is a 20 okay? Because that's what I got.
Natural 20?
Is a 20
yeah.
okay?
Yeah,
a natural 20!
Here,
Our first one of the night, people!
Hey! Yeah, see, again, I'm recording right now, and I rolled it, and it landed on a 20, so...
Natural 20! Okay. Yeah. As you're walking up the path, the first thing, something runs across the path about 10-15 feet ahead of you, right at where it curves. Something runs across and just stops and looks at you. And it catches you by surprise, because at first you think it's a cat. And
okay, so it's small.
No, but at first you think it's a cat, and it just kind of stands there. It's kind of a cat. It's made of stone.
Oh,
and it's moving, but it's shaped like a cat. Its eyes are like 2 cut gemstones, and it doesn't open its mouth. And it's slowly moving, just staring at you. And you hear... Let me... what do they sound like? And you hear something. It kind of sounds like a meow. The mouth of the cat, it's stone, it doesn't open. It sounds like a meow, but really choppy, like a bad digital recording. just really terrible.
Got it.
And it kind of just looks at you for a second, does the meow, and then just jumps off the path. And then it actually flinches and looks back up the path, kind of tilts its head to the side, looking away from you, and then jumps into the bushes. And you hear something.
Some more noises.
It sounds like a boat engine.
Oh, shit!
Very distant.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of up the path a bit. Sounds like it's coming a bit closer. Just a boat engine. It just trills every now and again and then goes quiet. And then you hear it again and it's closer.
So it's like, almost like, kind of, shoot, I'm trying to think of the word. It's kind of scanning over the environment. It's probably looking for something. Oh, shoot, what do I want to do?
What's scanning over the environment? You don't see anything.
It could be no, but I could hear the distance and it could be something like looking out for something. Or just traveling.
But because you rolled a natural 20...
I know. Do I want to go towards the cat or go back
No.
to the
Because you rolled a natural 20.
Oh.
You saw the way the cat was looking. You kind of tilt your head up a little bit, kind of stand up on your toes and look over a hedge in the distance. And just for a moment, you see through a gap in the hedges and the trees where they meet, on another part of the pathway, you see what looks like a well-dressed person in a nice tailored suit. And where their head should be, there's a boat engine.
What?
You see them for a second, and then they're gone. They're somewhere else on the path. You can still hear them a little bit. You just hear this, like, the put-put-put purring of a boat engine every now and again.
It's their head.
It's their head.
Okay.
It's very well-dressed, nice-looking suit. And
right. I get it.
Like with the sleeve, like one of those vest suits, sleeves kind of rolled up, and their head was a boat engine. And you see them for like a split second, and then they're gone.
Right.
You hear them somewhere. Shoot. And the cat was very eager to get away. You're not sure if it was scared of you, scared of the noise, scared of what?
Yeah, scared of not just me, but that thing. Shoot. I don't know if there's a thing called a stealth. Can I maybe get even closer to it?
Yes, you can make a stealth check. Definitely.
I'm gonna risk it. Okay, so it's the same thing, a 20,
risk
right?
It for a chocolate biscuit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm rolling it now. I got an 11.
Plus what? You have your sheet.
So,
plus 4.
Stealth, 4, yeah.
15.
So that's 15, yeah.
Okay. You hear this boat engine, and you kind of like that, Ree. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's actually more accurate than what I thought of. But you just kind of... It's not like you can't go off the path. There's
a specific way I have to go.
There's hedges, and there's bushes everywhere. You go the way the cat went. There's a little gap in the bushes, kind of like a deer thicket. You kind of duck underneath it as the engine sound gets closer. You kind of follow the way the cat went, kind of just wiggle your way through, it kind of scrapes around you, but you push your way through onto another side, and a moment passes, you hear footsteps, and on the path you just were on, you see a pair of very nice-looking shoes and that suit go past. You're kind of pressed down to the ground, and you watch as it walks past on the path and keeps going. And I'm going to leave you right there.
Got it.
Ree! Wake up! Wake up, Ree!
I clicked the wrong thing. Hello, I'm here. This is very, very, very cool. 10 out of 10. Applause. I'm ready.
Ree!
Yes.
First thing you notice as soon as you wake up, it's cold. It's not like freezing cold, but you shiver as you wake up. You're just like, you get up, and it's dark. It's dark, and you get up, and it's cold around you, and you kind of have to shake yourself awake and realize there's this big metal glove on your arm with these 5 red lights on the back of it. Get up, you're kind of in, like, you know the outside awning of a nightclub kind of thing?
Yeah.
You just kind of huddled into the corner of that. And the doors behind you, they look really run down. There's, like, peeling signs on the side of the wall, graffiti everywhere. You hear, like, EDM from the building inside of you. There's dance music of all kinds, and you can see in the corner of your eye there's like a window off to the side, really high up the side of this building, which kind of looks like a warehouse, like a scungy warehouse, and there's just like lights coming out of it, dance music coming from inside. But on the other side, there's just like flat road, and like it kind of slopes downwards a bit, and you kind of peer out, there's buildings around you. Huge skyscrapers, really dilapidated looking. All the windows are shattered, glass everywhere. It's totally dark. When you look up, the moon is enormous. It's like if you held up your hand in front of your face, the moon is bigger than your hand. Way bigger than it should be. And there's snow falling. Very gently. There's like a dusting of it on the ground. You see to your left, there's like distant lights and this overpass that curves around in front of these buildings with just darkness underneath it, and it kind of slopes down a bit, and far in the distance you see like this iron fence and like distant lights and a junkyard behind it. And to your right, down the road, there's an intersection, just glowing lights, snow falling on it quietly, and there's no cars to be seen anywhere. Just in front of you, down near where the overpass is, there's this huge snow-covered parking lot with cars covered in snow. Distant headlights somewhere far, far away. And the moon above is so much bigger than it should be, just illuminating the snow as it falls.
Is this me now?
Yes, this is you.
Okay.
This is where you've woken up.
First thing I want to do an Arcana check on this glove, and I have a +4 modifier, so let me roll that.
Rolling.
21.
21?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. You're not sure how it's attached to you. You cannot get it off. You're not sure if it's supposed to be like part of your body or something, if it's a cybernetic enhancement. Can't get it off. It doesn't hurt at all. These 5 red lights. Nothing else on the glove's really significant except these 5 red lights. And they're just glowing slowly, a faint pulse. And you kind of look at it, and let me check which one. The second one. The second one's glow has a familiar rhythm to it. Like, with every pulse of red on the second light on your arm, pulses in time with your own heartbeat.
Cool.
And that's it. You don't know what else it does, what its purpose is. You just know all of the glows of all the rest seem steady, but this one just has a pulse to it in time with your own heartbeat.
Super. Let's see. Can I do, is there a way for me to look inside of the nightclub, like peek my head around the corner? Are there like glass doors or windows in the doors or anything?
You woke up in the awning with the doors in it. You try to open the doors and they won't do anything. They won't budge, and the windows are blacked out. And the rest of the windows, which you kind of step outside, the windows are too high up for you to see into. You just see like strobe lights coming out of them, along with the music and the sound of people inside. And perception check?
Yeah, let me do that good perception check. I don't have any modifier or anything. I got a 2. All right.
You don't hear anything else. You don't hear cars. You don't hear anything. You just hear this noise coming from the building. The other buildings around you, totally dark. No sign of life.
Can I do an investigation check on the building?
On the warehouse nightclub thing?
Yeah, on the EDM warehouse.
Sure. Go back to that little awning. And
yeah, I'm going back in there. Let's investigate this place. Let's see why is this building different from all other buildings? Oh, that is a 14.
I mean, you can't see anything inside. The windows are just grayed out. You can see some shapes. You just kind of look around and you don't see anything except it's just barely visible. The snow is falling and almost covering it. There's like some footprints, not yours, smaller, just kind of leading off down towards the parking lot. Snow is covering them quickly and you lose track of them, but there's just some heading off that way, but they're not yours.
Well, I guess I better head that way. Can I stealthily do that, or since I'm in an open environment? You can make a stealth check. I'm like, how can I be stealthy in this snowy open world? That's a 17. 17, okay. You're shivering. You're just like, it's not freezing yet, and you don't really have much in the way of a coat or anything. You just kind of head down. Yeah, you're basically in your pajamas. Great,
whatever
very cold.
Counts as pajamas. You just kind of head down, and you lose track of the footprints after a little while, but you start heading down. There's this big overpass just screeching down, and it is pure darkness beneath it. And there's headlights. There's street lamps interspersed in the parking lot among this span of cars. All of them are covered in snow. They don't look like they've been used in a long time. And in the back, at the very end of this kind of cluster of dilapidated buildings, these ruins, there's a junkyard with more lights, huge fence in front of it, and kind of glance over, just trying to keep low, keep to the side of the road where there's these, like median barriers and stuff like that, keeping down around them. Mm-hmm. And you do take a glance up over at that intersection just to see if there's cars or anything. Mm-hmm. And you don't see any cars. You just see the intersection. And in the intersection, there is this ring. It looks like it's twisted wires and neon piping and kind of like the stuff that lava lamps have in them. Can just barely see it as the snow falls around it, and the intersection illuminates this ring that's standing in the middle of the intersection, like another 200, 300 feet away from you. You're not heading that way. Or do you want to head that way?
I mean, it looks like the only thing that's like, it seems wrong with the surroundings, so it might be, my one ticket out of here possibly, so I think I'll probably try to...
So you start you kind of keep yourself pressed against the side of this warehouse heading towards it, and you get there, and the snow just turns to darkness outside of this intersection. There's distant lights that kind of have nothing to them, no source, no purpose, and kind of look at this ring, and you're not sure what it is. It's just there.
Can I do an Arcana check?
Sure.
Nice. That's an 18.
Plus anything?
That's plus my 4 modifier.
Okay, 18. You kind of look at it, and it's weird. There's nothing really distinct. It's like someone took an intersection's lights and melted them together into a ring, and you can walk through it and around it, just like kind of step up through it, mm-hmm. and your gloved hand, just press it against it, and it just kind of, there's a little static shock when you touch it, for a second.
Just for a second?
Just for a second.
What happens if I hold the ring with my gloved hand?
Feels warm. Warmer than the air around you.
But what happens if I touch it with my ungloved hand?
Still feels warm.
Damn it. Is it light enough for me to lift and carry?
No, it is rooted in the ground.
Tragedy.
It's like a miniature Stargate.
Well, since that's just sitting there doing nothing, I think I kind of sigh and shrug my shoulders and try to go back to where those footprints were heading. Because
as you walk back, it's so cold. Roll a d20.
Oh, god damn it! I live in Florida now. 19.
It's cold, but damn it, you soldier on through it. Keep going. Try and head back to the footprints. They're gone by the time you get there, but they were heading down to that parking lot. So that's where you start going. Eloise, Hello? My love, where are you? You there?
Ellie?
Hello? You're just sitting in the middle of this yurt, just like...
I went back to sleep, thank you very much.
Alright, you went back to sleep.
No, I'm not asleep anymore.
You feel something shudder.
Oh. Okay. It's me.
It's like footsteps. Heavy footsteps outside.
Okay.
Coming a bit closer to you. And as you kind of sit up, kind of listen to it, there's something else you hear as well. Further away, just a bleating. Like a llama. Or an alpaca. Shut up. Yes, exactly like that, Tommy. You hear for a second, there's a few of them. And then... footsteps.
Oh.
And you're suddenly blinded as a hand comes through the doorway of this yurt and pushes it to the side, and the silhouette just fills up the front of this yurt blind in the sunlight. And it takes your eyes a second to adjust, and it's just a suit of samurai armor.
A new friend!
There is no face. Like, you can't see a body, it's just darkness behind it. Gripping a bow in its hand. It just kind of cocks its head at you and stares at you. It has to kind of stoop to look in. And it just kind of takes a step back and lifts up its bow and removes an arrow from a quiver at its side and draws it back and aims it at you.
Oh man, I thought it was a new friend.
You have the initiative advantage.
Wait, what?
So
I'm fighting this dude with my bare hands.
What do you do? What you'd have noticed when you woke up is that the sides of this yurt are not pinned down. They're just kind of floating in the breeze. You can see things outside of it, grass and stuff.
Bye.
You run?
Well, duh.
All right. Dexterity check.
Fuck me. Do I have a modifier on that? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either. Fuck me.
Actually, no. Athletics check. You're just bolting for the side of the yurt. Athletics.
Fine. That's a 19, bitches.
A 19 plus anything?
I don't know.
I'm looking, freaking dick.
It's frick a dick, by the way.
Oh wow, you have a -1 to athletics.
Well, it's an 18. Whatever, I'm still good.
18. You hear a pew as the bow snaps taut and an arrow buries itself in a cushion where you were, and you just dive for the side of the thing. You hear like this soft creaking of like metal on metal and fabric on metal, and you don't know what this thing's doing behind you, but you just dive under the side, scramble out, and there's yurts everywhere around you.
Okay.
Second. Loading. There's yurts around you, tall grass everywhere, and you tumble out, and you're just on the side. You are on a very, very steep hillside.
Oh.
It is so steep. You don't know how these yurts are staying there. Everything inside of that yurt should have been tumbling out the side of it. You are on a sheer slope, and the second you step outside, your feet kind of catch in the grass, and you skid, and it pulls you downward. It's like you're on the steep side of a ski slope. You can't stand there. You just tumble down, but you're in a panic, and you just grab onto the ground with all of your might, and you skid down, and your feet hit a rope bridge that is stretched across the mountainside. These yurts are at like, I don't know what angles are. A steep angle. Not 90 degrees, worse. They're not at a 90-degree angle. They're just below it, but it looks like they should be falling off the mountain, and everything inside of the yurt that seemed like it was just sitting still looking back, you've no idea why it was doing that. It should have been falling everywhere, all crumbled up against the side where that archer came in. And you look to your side, and the archer's head is still stuck inside of that yurt. And he starts to pull himself out, and you just run. You just drop onto this rope bridge, and even as the gravity pulls against you, you run towards the other yurts.
Okay.
And
there you go.
as you run, there are ladders stretched down from the rope bridges to other yurts and up to more above you. And you turn around a yurt that seems to obscure you and just grab onto the ladder, and you hear